Well, welcome back. And as promised, we're digging into some of those very pertinent matters we've been looking at, but also look forward to the graphic Stanbic business event that is coming your way this morning. That is still very much on course, so look forward to that. But Mama V, so many things we had wanted to highlight. Thankfully, we have a second bite.
Yes, we do. We wanted to heavily talk about the incident that happened yesterday in Jamestown, the killing of the policeman and the woman, the armed robbery situation. But we also wanted to go back to something that the police, the IGP, had agreed with stakeholders on in terms of how monies should be carried. What specific vehicle that the banks were expected to use. Apparently, there was an agreement back in 2020. If you go to myjoyonline.com, you find what we're about to share with you. At the time, Mr. Al-Hassan and Danny was the executive secretary at the Ghana Association of Bankers. So on behalf of all stakeholders, this was what had been agreed, that following the Bank of Ghana's meeting with cash operations managers of banks held on Thursday, 15th October 2020, Bank of Ghana directs all deposit money banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions to acquire armored-plated bullion vans for its cash operations. The above directive is as a result of the spate of armed attacks during cash-in-transit activities leading to loss of lives, currency, and destruction of sophisticated equipment, which has become a national security concern. Accordingly, the agencies are required to comply with the following. 1, phase out and replace all soft-skin cash-in-transit vehicles presently in use with fit-for-purpose armored-plated vehicles with European standard B6 ballistic protection for passenger compartment and European standard B4 for cargo compartment. And the second, involve Bank of Ghana in the procurement of the armored vehicles to ensure compliance with the requisite specifications. Bank of Ghana further directs all should comply with the above directive by 1st July 2023. So there's a time frame set for the banks to ensure that they convey vehicles, transport them in the correct vehicle. The deadline is 1st July 2023, after which Bank of Ghana will not admit any soft skin CIT vehicle into its premises nationwide. And so this is the last agreed communication on this matter, and this was signed by Alitha Godswin Amamu, Mrs. for Secretary. It's a Bank of Ghana communication to all stakeholders, i.e. banks and those who help them carry their monies around. This is coming because of the warning by the IGP that they would stop escorting cash if they don't acquire armored bullion vans. But there had already been an agreement and a set time, 2023, except that, Ben, I'm thinking that 2023 is when, like 2 years, we've got 2 more years. So in the meantime, would we continue seeing these vehicles?
We have some 2 years and 6 months plus.
Yeah. So we give the armed robbers the leeway to operate another 2 years and then we get the correct vehicles, or what?
So I took a look at that statement and the measures in place in the next few weeks and, moving forward. And I think, well, for the banks as well, because these are not vehicles that will not come at great cost. They will come at great cost. My only problem, or one of my problems, is that we've waited this long to do this, because in other parts of the world, like I keep mentioning, they have structures in place and they've been doing this. In fact, if you don't have such vehicles, you don't qualify for certain services. But I guess it had to get to this breaking point where we keep losing more and more police officers for us to come to this stark realization. We've started on this front, but I agree, the timelines are a bit, I don't know. I mean, give them ESI. If they're going to contract them, especially in times of COVID, bring them into the country and all of that, or even, I don't know. But because we don't have the dynamics in this country, likely they're going to import these vehicles and all of that. But 2.5 years, I don't know whether that would. So what happens in the interim?
So
when it comes to the safety, not just of the police officials that they are targeting, but the drivers, the other occupants of these vehicles? What happens to them? It means the criminals should go on?
There's been suggestions that, you know, the Bank of Ghana itself has the correct transport system. So the suggestion is, can we get the Bank of Ghana to transport the monies around? I don't know how many they have and if they can do this daily
That's the exact question
routine work that's...
Look at the number of banks.
Yeah, we've got
and other financial institutions that might want to do this day in, day out, not even week in, week out, day in, day out. Will the Bank of Ghana have sufficient, you know, logistics to take care of all of that? I doubt it.
Yeah. I wonder if this would come up in today's breakfast meeting, though, because it ties to the whole conversation of digitalization. We've moved on, and we can't be using these old system of transporting cash or going around to collect cash because, you know, the weaknesses are there. Some say these are normal pickups and, you know, they bring it down and then they try to get people to
at the rear,
just cover it.
And
there's no
we
protection.
Call it a bullion vehicle.
There's no protection.
It's not a bullion vehicle.
It's a normal vehicle that they've just made a few changes, covered it up, and then it's carrying good amount of cash. All the robbers have to do is to just monitor the movements. I mean, they know, they live in the communities. And again, you were talking about this particular area and how the place is heavily populated anyway, so you can't even speed and they can just do their thing. This has happened many times in the Ashanti region, for instance, and it's, for how long can we contain this? We've just read to you a directive which was issued by the Bank of Ghana, which given all banks a certain time frame within which they have to change the vehicles that they use. They have to get the correct vehicles. But the IGP can't wait, can he? Because his men are being gunned down every now and then. So the police service has cautioned banks across the country as far as the transportation of cash is concerned. A statement issued by its public affairs directorate, the Inspector General of Police on Monday directed banks to ensure that they procure fortified armored vehicles to cut cash within the country. Question we're asking, what difference would this make, seeing that there's already a directive by the Bank of Ghana, which is the regulator in this case? What would be the compromise? What can they agree to do in the meantime in terms of transporting cash and avoiding what we witnessed yesterday by way of the gunning down of a policeman and a woman as well? In the meantime, police is asking if you saw something in your neighborhood, maybe it wasn't in Jamestown, you probably saw something later on. They are asking that you come forward with information. They only can work with information.
They only can, and this is where I totally agree. It is also important that we, the ordinary citizens, you know, play our role in terms of giving that relevant information, keeping our eyes peeled for any activity that is suspicious, and ensuring that we can aid, you know, rid our streets, our communities of these nefarious elements who could turn on any one of us, you know, the next day. So we're just praying that they get apprehended, because these elements still being out there, no one is safe. And if they have this kind of ammunition and they've even taken the policeman's, you know, firearm, we are not safe.
Absolutely.
At all.
Absolutely.
We are not.
We're also asking that, you know, as citizens, we need to begin to change some of the things that we do. So instead of filming, it's good that you film, because sometimes that's all the record that we will have. But also do well to get in touch with security agencies, because as we witnessed with the video that came out later on, the incident that happened on the Ringway, close to the fire service, opposite the fire service, really, right. The National Fire Service office, and just next to the police headquarters. We're asking, did anybody run to them to inform them of what was happening? Can we, instead of chatting and screaming and making conversations, can we also alert security agencies when emergencies occur and we are witnesses of it? How many of us? And we're all guilty. I mean, I asked myself this yesterday because I was trying to imagine if anything happened to me, or if I witnessed anything. The thing is witness. If I witness anything, would I pick up my phone and call, or I'll pick up my phone and start filming? Right. You know?
I mean, if you were in close proximity, you would probably want to look out for your safety first, find out where you can be and maybe still catch snippets of what is happening before it might. I mean, it's quite a process when you're stuck in that cycle of witnessing something like this. And sometimes it is real that the last thing that comes to your mind is to actually reach out and call the police, but it's also the most important thing to do.
Absolutely.
In a period like that.
Absolutely.